Hello, Sunday, the 7th of February 2021, 7 to 8 p.m. Work conditions, but what what can be done about it? Nothing, nothing, nothing. So we live under the work conditions too, and I have it in me genetically because I'm Polish, so we know a bit about it. So we live, and I have also heard someone saying that um, I missed choosing aha. I don't know, perhaps, but I mean, people people change. People have different attitudes. People make mistakes, um, and perhaps people don't know each other really. But on the whole, there's the spirit, and I'm certain I have not missed um, in choosing the spirit. I have been missing. So let's see how it works. The third issue. I have this terrible war, and probably I have this prostitute profile because I called Radek Sikorski and the Polish politicians ruling over Poland um, around in 2010 whores. I called them whores in the context of their decision to use the time of the Polish presidency in the European Union to achieve a strategic partnership with China, with the People's Republic of China, not with China, with the People's Republic of China specifically. And it needs to be emphasized that it's the year 2010. After the 2008, when the Olympic Games took place, and I don't think that we should be blind to the fact that the time was also used for the Russian invasion in Georgia. The People's Republic of China did not meet the standards, the requirements for the Olympic Games, but the Olympic Games took place anyway, and the politicians participated in them, enjoying themselves. Then there was the football cup, a kind of championship. I don't remember exactly the name now, in Ukraine. And the news that arrived here was that they were cleaning the streets, getting rid of the dogs. The dogs that went astray or belonged to no one or whatever. Anyway, they were in the streets. So we got the information about how they were getting rid of them, to clean the streets, because the place must be perfect for the Olympic Games. There are guests from abroad, so everything must be, this is very important how we present this. So they were taking care and building the identity. So the dogs were caught, and there was news that they were burnt alive to make the streets clean. For some reason, it made me think of the People's Republic of China. that was 2012, which is a context for me calling our politicians, Poles, let me emphasize it. Poland was the partitioned, annexed territory, not on the map for quite a while. That is our Polish Romanticism period. We survived because we were strong in spirit. Some of us were, and others did politics. So, being a Pole obliges. Even if one is at war with one's own country. But then, I guess what I need to do is to define who I am really at war with, and perhaps that can help. Anyway, in the context and under the circumstances, I have written a story. This is not my poetic work. This is not the literature I have promised to create. This is a simple story, like a part of a dialogue. You can take part in a dialogue in all sorts of ways. So this is mine. A simple story for the Chinese. It was a sunny summer day. A lazy day elsewhere could not be lazy in the new busy China. Prosperity consumed the ancient minds, feeding them with a new reality of calm. All in place, all in time, all in quarter. Smooth. Comfortable, they lived the China nowadays, never bothered by the news that could not possibly concern them. The riots in the streets were over. No one expected a war. Reportedly, it was about some Chinese debt of the past, the Comrade Mao times. The union put forward claims, and they were not exactly financial. Some say the union stated the case as China belongs to the union. Reportedly, a laughter in the party ranks followed. They attacked 3 days later. The records collected from the portables suggest people could not decide what they saw up there in the air, the fleet of birds or the fleet of planes. Against the blue sky of a white cloud, here and there, in the light of the sun lending its shine to their steel grey wings, they were getting closer and closer. The people's faces, hypnotized, looked up, their bodies unmoved, like a frozen frame in the heart of the day about to become a flame. Then all went fast. Before the first Chinese plane took off, the war was over. Rushing in the streets, soldiers proudly wearing the Union badge. The former People's Party leaders vanished. Vast modern venues filled with the Union officers distributing orders in the commanding non-deniable voices. Few days, few indeed, and China became the Union. We said China belonged to the Union, the party said. And the message resounded, reaching each spot of the Chinese land. Each little space of silence, each open field spreading infinitely, people in still the same people but somewhat changed, performing all the routine actions the Russian way, climbing up the tall architecture of the Andish cities, now receiving the subtler note in the Russian melody. One could sense, or was it but an illusion? The walls, the windows, the tables, chairs, all that was there to make work smooth and nested cozily in the skyscrapers, secluding the busy, productive life from the leisure outside. All that was there acquired a new luster in the new sunshine. The Ming dynasty was the first to disappear from the public awareness. Anything that would put together the navy blue and white was strictly forbidden. Other color combinations as well, the spectrum redefined to fit the union array of dyes you can use. Animals underwent cleansing. Since Russia became the Union, the tiger has been nowhere to see. No longer in the official taxonomy books. The dragon could not be found, neither in fairy tales nor in the heraldry, the latter belonging to the things long gone by. There appeared a new school of drawing and painting, providing handbooks for young learners. Shapes allowed were defined precisely, and binding in all exercise of arts. New adepts introduced to the selected items they could combine into the partly acceptable standard masterpieces. Nothing of the old would ever pass the test. The traditional Chinese instruments lending their music to the sensibility, leaving in the Chinese key to the music of the spheres beyond the earthly experience, yet still arriving, although transformed, underwent adaptation to play the Russian note, now under the Union sky. Even the elements, or their lighter manifestations, appeared changed, as if it rained and snowed in new frequencies. Commotions had different swells, winds moved the open branches of the trees and closed heads of the flowers bent to the ground along new lines. And silence, the silence itself, sounded foreign. He had lived in this country forever, never anywhere else. He started feeling as if he could not really move his foot. It started feeling as if he could not really move his foot forward on the floor. Excuse me. He had lived in this country forever, never anywhere else. It started feeling as if he could not really move his foot forward, put on the floor as the first step of the new day after the old night. He moved it just to move it, to feel it moving. It went not quite his way. He moved another one, to the same effect. He touched the feet with his hands, now bent. The bend felt different too, but the feet felt his. He decided not to think, and went into his daily routine. In the evening, he knew his life had changed. Within the next few days, he learned the union rules. I am Chinese, he thought. The 7th of February 2021, Agnieszka Beata Magdalena Rojek, from Krakow, Poland.